We on? Ooh, yeah, we are. You popping in? What's up? What's up? We're the FREESTYLE on HamiltonRadio.net. I'm Ralphie Rotten. My right hand man is not here tonight. He will be soon. He's getting himself reacclimated. But in the meantime, I have somebody just as crazy. Well, not funny, but he's not as funny. He's not as funny as Billy.
Exactly.
My right hand man, Ruben. He is.
I did tell Billy that since he put that new mask, I said, "Good, you have something big enough to cover your mouth."
How was your weekend?
My weekend was, as always.
I'll
just let it cue out. It's like 2 minutes long. This weekend we started new shows here at Hamilton Radio.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, we started 2 new shows.
Nice. Welcome to if you're watching
Yep.
or tuning in. Welcome to the Hamilton Radio family.
Yes.
We have
Welcome, Jonathan.
an amazing collective of
shows. Yeah, and more sports shows are coming in.
Nice.
Yep, more sports shows. We're at 3 sports shows now.
Nice.
Yep.
Now to let me come on one of those shows one of these days when they're talking about something like the Eagles, my Braves, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Hank Aaron, Harrison Jr., something like that.
Exactly.
My
Eagles. They talk about the baseball season, starting. What they're going to be doing, like at the stadiums, the hockey, race car, basketball, even sports memorabilia.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's really in depth.
That's my road.
Yeah. And I remember people said they couldn't hear me last time. So if you hear feedback, double check.
I genuinely think we're good.
I think we are.
Last week, first night back in almost 3 months.
Oh yeah.
And we slightly went over time. Not something we usually do. Well, yeah, we do.
Slightly overdone.
We always do, but it was more like a catch up, a refreshing. I have it too. I have it over here. A refreshing.
Right back.
It was a reminder of who we were, and where we at now, and it's insane, where we are now as a society, and I'll elaborate that. It's insane that it's 2020, and racism is still
top. Oh yeah.
On Facebook. In the news, unfortunately,
it's a shame.
Been
going through this for 500 years.
Four.
I'm sorry, yeah.
A string of avoidable murders, because that's probably the best.
A lot of it is unavoidable. Some stuff, it was so minor.
I mean, Ahmaud Arbery,
he
was just jogging.
That's it.
I mean, you know how we have to wear reflectors to run? The fuck? Do we have to wear reflectors that says I'm just jogging?
With a bulletproof vest?
I'm just jogging. Like a reflector that says I'm just jogging.
That's it.
The
only thing he did, and it's not even a crime because, I even did it as...
He walked through
a construction site. He was just curious.
Doesn't mean he committed a crime.
No, because he didn't touch anything.
He didn't touch anything. He just observed.
Listen, just curiosity.
We're guys.
Yeah.
Guys are always going to be, we're boys. Boys and guys, men.
I did that when I was younger.
We're weird like that. We will go and look at stuff because...
Just curious.
We're curious. That's what we do. It doesn't warrant that a guy, starts jogging again and needs to be shot. Like something. Right. He's like cattle. It's it's sad. It's sad.
It's really sad.
It's sad because I watched that video, and you can almost get PTSD from stuff like that. I watched the George Floyd video. You can always, and it's emotionally, especially when when he calls out to his mom.
Right.
you can feel his pain. You can feel that when he says, "I'm done, I'm done."
Mm-hmm.
And recently, speaking of George Floyd, new information came out that we all knew that Derek Chauvin, right?
Yep.
Derek
Chauvin.
And George Floyd were employees at the same nightclub.
And they were actually good friends.
No.
No? Because I know they said they were.
We got that they worked at the same club for a week now, or so. We got that they had some kind of interaction.
Right.
And now they're saying that new information is saying that they bumped heads.
I heard that
over some money. So so we're saying that maybe Derek and also we heard rumors that George Floyd was loved by the girls at this nightclub. Right. George Floyd was one of those type of guys that when he walked into a room, people were magnetic to him.
Right.
And
so there's a jealousy going on.
Jealousy, white hard ass dude.
Yep.
He doesn't like the fact that this dude gets all the attention. This guy has to give him his check. And he was supposedly mad at, a paycheck that he received, handed from George Floyd.
Right.
And George Floyd had nothing to do with the checks that were given.
That's just the business.
So there's news, there's new information that.
But either way,
that could have been a slight motive. That could have been a precursor,
right?
Or something that will rehash old wounds and stuff like that. Could have drove Chauvin to say, hey, okay, you know what? He pissed me off that one day. I'm just gonna take him out.
Yeah.
And make it look like it's we don't know his motives.
Right.
We don't know his motives. Unfortunately, the guy took life and matters into his hands. And here we are now.
Yeah, you see how much money they raised? They raised over $1 million or more.
Well, I mean, the movement is, we've over the years when we've lost people, to injustice from, police brutality.
Right. And some of it's not even reported.
And some, like I said, some of it's not reported. We go, Philando Castillo,
right.
Mike Brown, Eric Garner,
right.
So we go stretch back to all those, and we protest.
That's exactly.
And then the uprising happens, and then everything simmers down, and no change happens. Well, you hear some kind of reform, but you don't hear
a change.
Some kind of full change. You only hear, you preempt and and starts of a change, but you don't feel, you don't see it. You don't feel the real change.
Right. Well, it has to come from within. It has to come from the adversary. When the adversary changes, then people feel more comfortable, then you see the change.
Well, relative to what I'm saying is...
But you're talking about years...
This movement now has more traction. I mean, more life. They're not going away.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? The movement is not, as we speak, there are still people around the United States and the world marching right now.
Oh, yeah. All 6 continents, not 7, because it's too cold in Antarctica. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's, London, they're protesting. They went crazy and took down a statue that was dedicated
Winston Churchill.
Of a slave trader. No, it wasn't Winston Churchill.
Yeah, they took him down. They took a statue down.
Oh, they took his down? Okay. But they took a significant statue that was erected for
slave trader.
A slave trader, and they took it down. And in Boston, Massachusetts, they beheaded Christopher Columbus's head. In Virginia, they took a statue of Christopher Columbus and drowned it. So today, I went up on Facebook, and of course, while we're at it, we might as well take them all off. And for some reason, every time I say something, I spark like this brutal war on my Facebook pages, like insane. It's insane.
Insane. They don't like.
Some are for it, and some are against it, and some really don't understand. But and it's okay.
Right.
Because it's for me to understand because I have Taino descent. And they're like, whoa.
Your man's is racist.
Exactly.
Man's
Yeah, exactly.
Racist. He let it come out tonight.
Exactly. That's I was talking to Billy earlier today that the last couple weeks
I baited him on purpose.
I know. I see. Yo, you got him good. You got him good too. You got him good.
And I'm gonna see. He gonna have to see me one day. Like this, I don't care about all that stuff. Like you got the nerve to be right next to Trenton. Like them days is over, bro.
Exactly.
Ain't no more of that. We ain't trying to hear that. You trying to defend Christopher Columbus and make up all these stuff.
Well, he was a tyrant.
They're trying to make it look good.
Exactly.
You can tell he don't know his history. He don't know nothing. That's why I ain't go back and forth with him because he right in the vicinity. Like you gonna see me one day and don't be like, "What's up?"
You jumped in and I was like, "Yo, he shut him down." Yo, a couple people like shut him down. Like, even my white dudes were like, "Yo, he did nothing." Like, and it wasn't to take away from the movement, because everybody knows. I'm about the movement,
Right.
But while we're at it, since we're taking statues down, and we're taking flags down, might as well take his fucking racist ass enslavement and oppression ass down too.
This is what I think.
Because
Take
part
all
of
that shit down.
Remember, part of the trans slave trade was agitated and supported greatly by Christopher Columbus and his adversaries.
Right.
So.
Well, this is what I want to say, though.
That's the reason why.
I agree they should take all these commemorative statues down.
Put them in
a museum.
Put them in a museum so we don't forget.
Yeah.
So we're not deemed to repeat it.
This is what I say. They should erect the real people that established that were in
Martin Luther King.
Even commemorative to the slaves that built Washington D.C.
JFK, exactly a wall to commemorate, the slaves that built the
right.
White House, the Lincoln Memorial.
Because if we get rid of, like you say, if we get rid of the Confederate people and Christopher Columbus, what's going to happen is over time, and history will be forgotten. History will be forgotten.
And this was my argument for the longest about removing, not erase. I mean, just removing it and forgetting about it because I'm afraid that. Far in the future,
like 300-400 years from now,
we can do it again.
We can do it.
You know
again.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like,
and they'll be like, "Oh, that never happened."
That never happened
because they're trying to,
real talk. Like motherfuckers are trying to deny that the Holocaust happened.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Get the fuck out of here! This shit happened.
He took the words right out of my mouth.
And the reason why those. Yep. The camps are still there.
Right.
Not like the camps itself, but the remnants of the camps are still there. So it's a reminder. That we don't commit those atrocities.
And it's how it is.
Don't commit those issues, those things again.
It's like the Holocaust. It's like the Holocaust never happened. Slavery, forget about it. That's been the going trend.
And
what's going to happen? It's going to repeat
with the Holocaust of the indigenous peoples of America. Millions were slaughtered.
Right.
We're not just talking about Columbus. When I'm talking about Columbus, and I'm trying to pull back a Band-Aid, okay, that reveals the unanswered atrocities against the Indians, okay, and my Indian people, my Native Americans could understand. You know what I'm saying? I breathe with you because my ancestors were Indian, okay. I'm Taino. Like I said, my ancestry is Taino, and I'll say this again. My ancestors jumped into shark-infested waters to escape their enslavement oppressors. Okay, that speaks volumes. Okay, when somebody says I'm escaping my oppressor into a shark, I'd rather kill myself and get eaten by a shark to be enslaved by him, to go and get gold. They said if they didn't get enough gold, they would cut their hands off. I mean, to tell me that Christopher Columbus deserves a statue?
No.
In a time like this where we're trying to create change?
He doesn't even deserve a day.
He doesn't, exactly. And that's why a lot of people are adopting Indigenous Peoples Day. Because it's not just about me. It's not about what I think. We're talking about 400 years ago.
You know what I think they should do? I think we should take like the longest month of the year and commemorate. Sorry if I'm saying the words. Yeah, that little tongue tie.
Just make it minorities month. That's it.
Yeah.
Just give it to the
Indigenous
just give the whole
like July.
Exactly. You give it to all minorities. That you know, this is your month.
Yeah.
Okay, this is your month.
Yeah.
We already got our presidents. Listen, there's no Puerto Rican History Month. There's no Taino History Month.
No.
Okay, and
you should just boil it all into one.
And it's crazy because
have it like 1 month.
You know how we all love to barbecue, okay?
Commander, if that's it.
You know how we all love to barbecue?
Oh yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of motherfuckers out there that love to barbecue, and I'm saying this because, you know, over my quarantine, over my house arrest that the government enforced on us or encroached on us, I started grilling more, and saying, you know what, hun?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to show you something earlier.
I said to the wife, you know what? Don't cook today. Let me grill some food. Let me cook some hot dogs, hamburgers, you know, some shrimp. Let me do something. So it became to where I'm cooking 4, 5, 6 days a week on the grill, staggered, not executive, but just cooking.
Right.
People don't know, and I'm gonna drop this knowledge right now on people. People don't know that barbecue.
I wanted to show you that.
Barbecue, the word barbecue, came. Well, the word Buccaneers. We just think, oh, they're classier pirates.
Yeah.
That work for the government of a certain country. Well, that's not true. Bucan means grill in Caribbean. And I will go into more depth.
Yeah, sorry.
Bucan means grill. Okay. So when the pirates adapted how to use Bucans, they were called Buccaneers. That's how that became a word.
Right. Oh, interesting.
That word comes from who named them were the famous Taino Indians from the Caribbean. Yeah. They used Bucans and called them their grills. Okay. But they also called their process barbacoa. True story fact, 1000%. The word barbecue, derived from barbacoa, is a Taino word. So the Tainos invented barbecue. Where the world loves it, you know. Right. They took it.
Well, you notice anything that was
same thing
slave inhibited or native inhibited is now a cultural
I'll get
icon.
Another thing, the word canoe. Canoe is a Taino word. Canoe, obviously, barbacoa. There's other words, but. Those are two of the distinct words that I decided. And I figured, you know...
And that makes sense. That's Taino, since they're islands in the Caribbean and it's water.
I love to barbecue. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to embrace my heritage that I love to barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Right. Tonight I made a two piece of filet mignon. Nothing extravagant. Made it myself. Put my own stuff on there. And, I mean, it was just... First time making filet mignon on a grill, and it was phenomenal. I just picked it up, boom, boom, boom. And
when you said that to me, not to get off subject too much.
I said that to you like literally
before
oh my God,
the show. And I said there was something I wanted to tell you. I said when you said that to me, I said, would you ever spend $5,000 on a hamburger?
I wouldn't.
Well, there was a burger called the Floor Burger 5000 in Pennsylvania. It's the most expensive burger. Next to the Philadelphia cheesesteak, which I think costs around $1,200 or $1,400 for a cheesesteak, Philadelphia cheesesteak. But the hamburger beats it by $5,000, and it's in Las Vegas. It's called the Floor Burger, and I just happened to watch this on the.
Well, the greatest thing is that I'll tell you one thing: I can make a better tasting burger than that. And it won't be $5,000. It'll be like $5 or $6.
Okay, this what this and the Floor Burger. I'll tell you in a minute what it has in it. There was an ingredients in here somewhere. It was. I thought it was here.
I'm gonna get back to.
Well, we'll get back to it later. Oh, here it is. It consists of called Wagyu beef and foie gras in the burger, topped with truffle sauce and shaved black truffles with brocci truffle bun, which is truffles in a bun.
Whatever the truffle is.
And you get a bottle of Bordeaux wine. Or rather, champagne.
No, it's not Bordeaux. It's Bordeaux.
Bordeaux. Thank you. I'm not. I don't drink, so.
Well, I mean,
I appreciate. I
used to work at a liquor store, so.
And
I
you get all that for $5,000 plus, if you want to tip your waiter, 10%.
Yeah, I'll pass. Come to my yard and bring some meat. I'll cook it and I'll grill it your way.
I mean, if somebody offered,
you won't have to tell me. You won't have to pay me $5,000. All you gotta do is pay me.
Would you? If somebody offered you for free, would you try it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I want to go back to the comment you made regarding how people of society would adapt and steal, different cultures of the slaves.
Yeah.
Real quick, you remember we made this video with my boy. We made this video about Uncle Nearest. And as a little dive back into history, for my friends that love Jack Daniels, Daniels is a sour mash Tennessee whiskey, and it's an acquired taste. It's when you're at the bar and you say, "Hey, let's do shots," everybody says, "Let's do Jack." It's cheap, it's easy. It messes you up fast.
Cheap fix.
But Jack is not appreciated as it should. You put it on the rocks. It tastes a little bit better on the rocks. Chill, relaxed. It doesn't always have to be one of those, oh my God,
right?
Let's do shots kind of deal. Well, Jasper Daniels, his name was Jasper Jack Daniels.
Right.
Didn't always know how to make whiskey.
Whiskey, right.
And a lot of people don't know how Jack Daniels created his famous recipe. Well, Jasper Daniels was a orphan. And I'm not going to talk too much about this. I'm going to just touch base a little bit. He was an orphan. And his mom died 4 months after he was born. So he was there to fend for himself.
Right.
So he was left to a preacher who had slaves and rented slaves and appointed slaves. He was a preacher with weird things. Not weird, but he was just a preacher. And he was a master. Had a distillery. He made wet whiskey.
Right.
But the thing was, he was a preacher, so in God's eyes, he can't do that. So what happened? He had his other friends do the whiskey for him.
Right.
Young Jasper comes into his life, and he takes him to his master whiskey maker, and he says, "Nearest, I want you to train young Jasper here how to make whiskey. I want him to know how to make the best whiskey ever. I want him to be able to make the best whiskey." So fast forward that X amount of time, Mr. Nearest took him as his own, as a son, as a uncle, taught him everything. So when Jasper became old enough to go out and sell, he went out and peddled the whiskey that Nearest made, and eventually Jasper created his own distillery, bought the distillery from the preacher named Dan Call, and started selling the whiskey.
Right.
And in turn, he officially made Uncle Nearest his master distiller. Well, the significance about Mr. Nearest was a former slave. He was a freed slave. They lived in Lynchburg, Tennessee, a town where the name Lynchburg, you walk in, you scared as shit.
exactly.
But in the time, in a time where civil unrest and civil war was prevalent and racial divide was evident and as clear as day, Lynchburg, Tennessee didn't live that way.
Right.
They all They all coexisted. Jack Daniels, Jack Daniels' family, they had Sunday meals with Uncle Nearest's family. And they seen no color. So, at a time that this happened, Jack Daniels paid his black workers like they were white workers. And we're talking about right after the Civil War.
Right.
Okay?
And
in a town named Lynchburg.
And without crop sharing and stuff like that. Or disenfranchised.
Anywhere in the United States at that time, being black was a murder sentence for you. Okay? Or a trip down south to be a slave illegally, or killed or hung or picked on, or beaten, racially, just racially injustice. Just cheated
all
like
together.
Shit. But this didn't happen in Tennessee, in Lynchburg, Tennessee during that time. These two guys coexisted for their lifetime.
Well, sometimes, when you have that, even though they're going on.
Oh, hold on. And to this day, Jack Daniels always gave him the respect. In 1960s, I'll get back to you. In 1960s, Jack Daniels came out with a biography.
Be right back. Hold on.
And named Uncle Nearest in his autobiography more than 50 times. We also know history says that Jack Daniels made him a significant part of Jack Daniels distillery. And I'll wait till Ruben comes back to finish what I'm saying about this. It's just amazing how a small story of hope comes out of a time where there wasn't. And on history, like I was saying, Jack Daniels made Uncle Nearest the first African American distiller in American bourbon whiskey making history.
Right. Well,
is that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy. There was some type of I think legal or something like action against the company because there's didn't that ever happen?
Never.
Because I was reading some articles on it.
Jack Daniels never wanted to hide the fact that Nearest was so instrumental in his success.
Right.
So he always gave him the respect. In fact, to this day, Uncle Nearest's descendants still work. It gets my hairs up. They still work for the Jack Daniels distillery. Okay?
Till this day.
Till this day. Generations. Okay? And the Uncle Nearest Foundation, the whiskey, the foundation sends the descendants of Uncle Nearest. Remember, the first official whiskey bourbon distiller in American history. I mean, that's huge.
And
because it wasn't a white guy. It was a black guy that had the title first.
Right.
So he took his way of chilling, mellow chilling through charcoal from Africa and apply it to whiskey making in America. Making, his distinct whiskey the best, And like I said, to this day, it's such an amazing story. I love the whiskey because of the story, because of the hope.
The hope of
it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you look at, those times and you're like, oh man.
Which is very unheard of because, too, at that time, especially if you're a black or any, other minority, you couldn't patent anything unless there was a white man that did it for you, even after post-Civil War for a while. And a lot of white guys stole inventions, from African descent people, and put their names on top of them.
The whiskey that we drink today.
So
or bourbon, it
yeah,
it was slaves who put that stuff on the map because
right.
They passed it on and passed
it
it
on.
Listen, you know that a plantation owner was not going to get his white suit dirty. Right? He just came in from town, putting away some money.
Right.
So who's going to call? He's going to call his best slaves.
Right.
To go make up his whiskey, or go bring some whiskey to him.
Mm-hmm.
He probably never even stepped foot in the distillery or, the whiskey. He probably never knew how to make it. Mm-hmm. He just funded it and he sold it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So a lot of people owe it to, history, to the people who made, help put stuff on the map, like the black descendants, the black slaves that, were pushed to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's probably a lot of inventions, because at the time, a lot of slaves didn't know how to read, but they were able to build things and put things and make things work, but they could never patent it because they didn't know how to read or they were lied to.
That was the one guy was the one who did the heart surgery.
Oh yeah.
He can't deny
First
that.
heart surgery. I think it was Garrett Morgan.
I think so. I'm not.
Because I know he did the traffic light, the traffic light,
conveyor belt.
The conveyor belt.
Conveyor belt, traffic light.
Not Moskin, the oxygen mask.
The rotary parts of the phone. What else?
Just numerous of things.
There's crazy things have been invented by the black man.
Oh yeah.
It's insane.
Insane inventions. Oh, even the Pullman car for trains, the anti-light brake system. The air brakes for trains and the anti-light braking system for cars.
It was because of black women, smart women. Mm-hmm. We were able to get a man on the moon.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Right.
Crazy.
And that's why it was a good title too, called "In Hidden Figures." That was a good title because I never even knew that.
I have to yet see the movie. I've heard the story.
I seen it. Finally saw it.
When you hear the story, you're like, oh, I know
really
the story. You know the story about it.
Yeah.
But you want to know in depth about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's an amazing story.
And it's there's
because of the white astronaut, said.
Yeah.
I'm not going up until she says I'm okay to go up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's amazing.
He put his life in her hands.
And she was, and think about it and that was in the 60s. So you figure for over 50 years, these people that gave the yay or nay to go into space because they needed those numbers, the coordinates to be exact, because they didn't have computer guiding systems and stuff like that. They had to do everything by hand.
They had
and navigation, right? So, and it's a shame throughout history is always Neil Armstrong and the other guy that stepped on the moon and all that.
Armstrong
but
and
what's his name? I forgot his name. Because Neil Armstrong is so prominent.
Albright, right?
No, it was Albright.
Something.
It's something.
Something like that.
But anyway, what is amazing is that the people that made it possible were not recognized for over 50 years, 55 years. Let me see.
The man.
First man in space.
On the moon.
Oh, Aldrin.
I was close, right?
You're close. Yeah, Aldrin. Yep. Neil Armstrong and Aldrin.
That was crazy, right?
Yeah, that was crazy.
I was
crazy.
close.
You're close. You're close. You're close.
Listen, I don't have all the answers. I'm not that. I'm not as smart as you guys say I am. I am smart, but not all the.
Well, no. I mean, there's so much. There's so much things that happen and events that happen in history.
I can't know all the names.
Yeah, you can't. And I mean, if you.
I only know the events and the day, possibly the dates and whatnot,
right?
Stuff like that.
I mean, look at Michelangelo for Flight and everything like that. Who knows that back in Egypt they had things doing the pyramid of Flight.
Well, they say that they had cranes and they had
levitation.
Superior ways of putting those
well, they said
pyramids together.
Yeah.
I mean, they were not easy to move stones like that.
Well, they said they had the power of levitation at that time, and we just don't know how to do it today. And also, Tesla even proved that the Pyramid of Giza, I believe, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the Pyramid of Giza, was never a tomb, but a power station. They said there was actually crystals of obelisks. There was 4 obelisks that surrounded the pyramid, and there was crystals on there. And what happened was when Rome attacked Egypt, when Egypt was going pretty much on its downfall, they took all those crystals off, and they said the crystals still survive today in the Vatican vault.
Oh wow!
And Tesla even went there because he said there's no tombs in the pyramid, but there's shafts. So they figured that was a power station, because if you look at the inscriptions on the wall, they have these things that look like flashlights, and they believe that's how they work. That's how they were able to turn electricity, because they said there's no really burnt marks on the walls. Not how they have fire and torches, but they said there's really no burnt marks. So they're trying to figure out how they got power down there. So they figured that used to be a power plant. Now
the Egyptians were more advanced. They were more advanced civilization than we anticipate and than we think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because listen, they put all those pyramids together,
right?
And we don't know a lot about them.
Right.
But we know that they were highly intelligent.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, very, very highly intelligent. But that still stands a mystery. People try to say they put the bricks on rollers. Well, first thing is, how did you lift it up in the first place?
Pulleys.
But
advanced
can
pulleys.
you imagine what type of pulleys that they had to have to lift it? I mean, look at the cargo ships. Look at the docks where they lift up those big things. You see how massive those machines are out there just to lift up the trailers to put them on top.
They were advanced for their time.
Right.
They were.
And the thing is, there's no evidence.
They're probably 5,000 generations ahead of their own time.
And think about even with the chariots and everything that are left behind, but there's no indication of cranes or anything that or pull. I mean, they have pulleys, like little pulleys, but nothing like massive.
No. I got a question. What are your stance on defunding the police?
My stance is we shouldn't defund the police. What I think we do is we need to correct the police department.
Okay,
because
here's
I'll just say this.
I'll give you my real quick. I'll give you mine. I don't think we're going to defund the police. To understand what Minneapolis is going to do, they voted to defund the police force.
Right.
Well, what's going to happen is you just got to look at what happened in Camden. Camden was murder capital.
And it got turned over to the county.
Right. Well, what did they do to the city police?
They fired them all.
They and they defunded the city police, and they created the Camden County Police Force.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to create a county force with more resources, better training, better accountability. I
can agree with that.
Ever since the Camden County Police was created, Camden County or Camden, the city has changed.
Yeah.
The murder rate is no longer. Camden is no longer
the number one.
Exactly, it's Chicago.
Right.
And people, the community is better now.
And what happened was the district attorney fired everybody because they didn't realize that they were under investigation for like 10 years, something like that, from the DA. And then next thing in the paper, they all got their pink slip from the chief of police all the way down.
The thing is that some of the, there was we're not going to say a lot of racial, but there,
right.
You have people that are in the police force that don't understand what's going on in Camden.
Right.
So how can you have a police force that can't relate to the city?
Exactly.
So that's basically what happened. They got rid of the Camden City Police,
right?
Camden Police Force, and they created the Camden County Police. Like I said, it's the county is
a little bit
bigger,
and that's what they should do.
More cops, more territory they cover.
Right.
So that means they get more funding, more
right.
more adversaries on their side versus just being stuck in the hood. So that's exactly what I think what's going to happen. I don't think, listen, because at the end of the day, if something happens, what are you going to do? If something bad really happens, what you're going to do? The first thing you're going to do is call the cops.
Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth.
And I don't care who you are. Anything happens.
First thing in your mouth.
The first thing you're going to do is call the cops.
Yep.
It's
not call the fire department.
If you can't humanly take care of that situation, the first thing you're going to do, by default, is you're going to call 911.
Well, a lot of states before there were even the police department, there were just the county police, which was the county sheriff. The county sheriff, took hold.
Well, the sheriffs go back all the way to the Wild West.
Wild West. So there was no police departments.
There was always the sheriff.
Yeah.
But the sheriffs, you needed the sheriff became
right. The police didn't. The police didn't come into actually effect until late
early 1900s.
No. Actually, before and during the Civil War. That's because the police department was actually created really to capture runaway slaves.
Yes, but
and
there wasn't an official police force.
No, it wasn't official, but that's where it stemmed from.
Yes,
because at that time, like you said, back in
and then these police forces,
because it was just about county sheriffs,
and going to right where what you're saying, these police forces when slavery was abolished, they had nothing else to do.
Right.
So then the prison systems were created.
Exactly.
That's for another conversation.
And
that is for another conversation because
think of Texas, they have the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, they had the Texas Rangers,
and that was before the police department.
Is that crazy? Yeah. When the police force had no more slaves to go catch, they had nothing else to do. So
they created the prison.
They created this prison systems to lock them up. Created these laws to, and don't get me wrong, some of these laws are applicable and some of these laws are understanding. And some of the laws are ridiculous, and some of the laws are
that'd be next show. The ridiculous
antiquated.
Laws.
Some of the procedures that we do are, old, and how we handle the populace. What we're dealing with today.
Oh yeah, a lot of laws that we created are some of ridiculous. Like I seen one law that said you can't transport broccoli across state line.
You can't spit on the wall 3 or 4 different times. Like some of the laws that are on the books are just absurd. Like why? Why would you even Why would you even waste your time to create something stupid like that?
And there's also a law too. I forgot. I think it's in Kansas or Kentucky, but we have to look up. But there's a law that says you cannot have sex with your wife on a Sunday.
Yeah, stupid. There's stupid laws like that. There's just stupid laws.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
What are your shout-outs for the week?
My shout-outs. I never really done shout-outs.
Right? It's the first time, right?
First time, yeah. Wow. Well, I guess there's a lot of shout-outs out.
Don't overshadow Billy, because
Oh, forget about him.
Shout out to Billy because he is probably listening right now.
No, hold on. I'd say shout out to Billy. Oh, actually, first of all, shout out to our station here. Shout out to Gino and Monk, and of course you, Ralph, and Isabella. Your I'm sorry, my mind is slipping here.
my son, the wife. Yeah.
Your son, your wife, your daughter.
Your brother.
Love to the family, and my condolences to the family that of had lost them.
Thank you.
My
condolences to a good friend of mine. At 9:00, my friend of mine.
Yeah, that's Linda, Ralphie, and Isabella.
A friend of mine passed away at 9:00 tonight. We're good friends for about good 8 years, we'll say.
Yeah.
It was just his time, and unfortunately, it's sad. My condolences go out to his 2 kids. He was a good dude. He was, and his my sister-in-law. That was her husband, boyfriend, whatever. But it's sad, I'm gonna remember the good times that I had with him, because he was just a good dude. He was a good dude. It's not all the time you find good people like that. So my condolences to him.
And I just want to say this before we chime out.
His condolences to him and his family.
definitely condolences to the family and anyone who lost anyone, during the riots, anything. And also, though we've been in a somewhat quarantine for the past 3 months and people are just revising themselves, I just want to let everybody know, supposedly before or after the weekend of June 15th, which I think presumably it might be Father's Day weekend, I presume. They lifted the ban on everything. Just to be on the safe side, just be cautious.
Actually, June 22nd, the lift will be complete. June 22nd, all businesses, I think, go back into effect.
Yeah.
The first lift will be June 15th.
Yep.
For some major businesses, and June 22nd will be most major businesses.
And the reason why I say that June 15th,
and the stay-at-home order has been officially lifted, I think, as of yesterday.
Yeah, after yesterday. Yep.
So that means we don't have to be locked up home anymore. We can go outside. Right.
I just want to say,
just be good. Just be good.
Yeah, just be good.
Just be good.
Because they're expecting another wave of this to happen during the weekend of June 15th.
Well,
so we're going to see what happens.
We're still waiting for the last couple of weeks for the protesters.
That's the June 15th. That's
so
the June 15th.
We're waiting for that to see what's going to happen with that.
We should know that
we're praying. I'm praying that they're wrong. I'm praying that they're wrong and the protesters are good. And we prove them wrong.
Mm-hmm. And we can move on to.
They are talking about a second wave, so be vigilant. Still wash your hands. Still walk around with hand sanitizer. I still have it. I still have my mask.
Let me just tell people this: be vigilant when you go use the bathroom. Wash your hands.
Well, actually,
because you don't know what you're touching in there.
I advise people strongly not to use public bathrooms.
Yeah, if you can avoid it.
If you can avoid it, that is one of the ways that the coronavirus can spread through hand dryers and feces in the air in the vicinity. Listen, if you're taking a dump and you think the dude that's using the urinal is not going to inhale the aroma of your shit, well, think about it. No, that's how you get sick. It's a fact. You can Google it, research it. Public bathrooms are a health
because you know why? Because people don't wash their hands, they don't flush the toilets.
Well, it's an unsanitary area. But if you can avoid a public bathroom at all costs, please do so. Still, wash your hands. Don't throw away your mask yet. Don't throw your until they say you
please. Don't wear your mask while you're driving your car.
Yeah, listen. Don't wear your mask while you're jogging, man. You're jogging, you're out there walking with your kids. Yo, life is given to us to enjoy, not to deprive us from the air that we should breathe.
And this is
take the mask off. Just taking them off for a minute and just
because
taking that air.
Taking that air, because when you hit that mask on while you're jogging or you're driving your car, what it is, you're breathing out CO2 and you're breathing in CO2.
Yeah, but they're making themselves sick.
That's why, because you're not getting the oxygen. You're breathing out this. The trees are supposed to take on your CO2. You're not supposed to take in CO2. So, and and God forbid if you're a smoker, a heavy smoker or something like that, and you have your mask covering, you're just weakening your immune system. And you're not taking in pure, clean air, oxygen.
So real quick,
just use it in the stores. And
the rest of your shout outs.
I just wanted to shout out again to you, Linda, Ralphie, and Isabella, to my parents, Monk, Gino, the entire staff, and host of Hamilton Radio, and Billy too.
Shout out to my boy Billy.
Love you, Billy. You know that. And shout out to the world. And I want to say this one last thing, and I'm going to be out, is that to end all racism is to just show love and respect each other.
That's it. All we got to do. That's it. Just love each other. Shout out to my wife, my daughter, my son, my mom, my mother-in-law, my family, my brother, his family, all my friends. To the racist motherfuckers that be trolling on Facebook. You guys need to take that hair and that foot out of your ass.
Yep.
And wake up.
Mm-hmm. Wake up.
Because I've screenshotted a lot of shit from you guys. Now, I'm not talking about my friends. I'm talking about in general speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, 2 or 3 of my friends that I vetted for being racist or coming off racist, and they don't even know.
Right.
Your fucking time is numbered because I'm going to block your ass soon. Mm-hmm. Keep with that racist shit. You're going to be done. I don't need you in my life. Exactly. That's how it is. Racism in 2020, if you smell like it, fuck it. You're out of it.
Has to be abolished.
I don't need you in my life.
It has to be abolished. And it's not just here in the U.S. I'm talking about globally, And another way to end the racism, too, next to love and respect, if you don't like someone or anything like that, here's a hint. Just like you don't like a TV show, change the channel. Don't talk to the person. Just leave them alone. Don't bother them. If they ain't messing with you, don't mess with them. You don't have to associate with someone if you're racist with that person. Just be upon your own kind of attitude people within your brand. If you see a black person, Spanish person, because you don't like them, walk across the street. Or just walk past them. You don't have to intertwine with them. You could be within your own world. The problem is that people that are racist and hate people is that they mess with people that they don't like. And that causes all this uproar and everything else like that. Again, if you don't like something, let it alone. Let it alone. Only thing you should be focusing on is what the government is doing.
Especially, somebody just inboxed me about Stone Terrace in Hamilton Township. The motherfucker's racist, so don't go to his fucking company, his business. I said it. Test me. Stone Terrace down the street.
Stone
Terrace. He says Black Lives.
John Henry's.
Yeah. John Henry. Black Lives Matter is bullshit. That's what he says. I got screenshots. So
well, hold up. You screenshot his joint, maybe. We should organize some protests in front of his business.
We should. How
about that?
We should. Yo, that is, yo, Monk, yes! That's what we should do.
Think they could come out all of a sudden, but I like it because everybody's showing their ugly head.
Right? So, like, I love that shit.
Hamilton used to be racist, so these are
John
the people
Henry
left over from the Chambersburg
in Hamilton Township on Cruiser Road?
Yes. So he said that the Black Lives Matter is bullshit. Listen, bro. You don't need to be racist,
the organization is one thing, because they say it's run by George Soros and all of that. But I'm just talking about the term period. Black Lives Matter.
Right,
so
that's the term.
For you to say that, you better specify whether you talk about the organization, the George Soros organization, or just black people, period. Because when you say that, you got to fight, pussy.
That's right.
You got to fight.
Exactly.
You can't just talk stuff on the internet no more. We out here.
Exactly.
We out here, and guess what? A lot of them police feel the same way, because when the last time your business did a fundraiser for them, I ain't seen shit.
Exactly.
And the mayor involved.
Yeah,
so
there's two.
How far they really want to go?
That's right. There's 2 narratives to it. There's Black Lives Matters organization, and then there's Black Lives Matters of the people. So you have to, be derivative too.
No, but I like Monk's idea.
Yeah.
Go protest this fucking place.
Yeah, go protest.
You know what? Yo, you have a business in Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I've never been there for I'm keeping it real. I've never been to any of his events. And you know what? You could blackball me on DJing. I don't give a fuck. I don't need your money, bro. I don't need anybody of those money, bro.
Mm-hmm.
If you're racist, I don't need your money. I don't. Guess what? I don't need it. I'm not hurting. Okay.
It's John Henry's.
John Henry's Stone Terrace.
John Henry's.
So if you're racist, bro,
it's on.
The world doesn't need people like you, bro. And you can come see me if you want. I don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. I got screenshots. I got sent it. So
exactly. And you know what? And if you're a business and you're putting that out there, this is a bad time.
It's a bad time, bro. It's a bad time
to do that. Especially, I know you've been on lockdown for the past 3 months with no service.
It's a bad time, yo. Like
an organization.
Yo, motherfuckers lucky they ain't fucking loot his fucking piece of shit place.
Mm-hmm.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
Right.
I mean,
because you know, a lot of businesses are like big businesses are closing up stores.
He's a mom and pop play. He's a mom and pop business. Right. He's a mom and pop business.
Right.
That's probably just fucking closet racist, dude. Right. Ain't nobody. Listen, and I'm not racist against him, okay? Because I'm pretty sure he's Italian. My wife is Italian. You know, I got Italian heritage. Okay, my kids are Italian too. Okay, so I'm not racist. Ain't nobody dropped being racist.
I don't know. John Henry.
Yeah, yes.
I don't think that's Italian.
No. Yes, it is.
Italian?
Well, yes. Its owners are Italian.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
But just keeping it real. There's no reason to be fucking racist. Okay, there's no reason to be racist.
Exactly.
No reasons. Okay.
And especially
you don't want to go down that fucking road. Okay, you don't want to go down that road because I can open up cans of worms. I can open up a can of shit you just don't want to fucking open.
Right.
Okay. I can start opening my mouth and talking some facts about shit, or keep on shit. Okay. And they can kick me off the radio, but as long as they got me on this platform, I'm gonna keep it real and be real. I'm not gonna be like this CNN shit, Fox shit, and all that Republican, that right shit, left shit, liberal shit. I'm not about that.
Just keep it direct.
We just keep it direct. There's nothing about no sides, no nothing. What you see is with Hamilton Radio is the most realest news you will ever see.
And I want to say this. With John Henry being Italian owned and when put racist stuff like that, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna affect other Italian restaurants.
No, I've never seen.
It could possibly happen.
Billy just said answer the phone.
Oh.
Billy just said answer the phone, so he's calling. I think he's calling us.
He's calling.
Yeah.
I think Monk got it. No calls coming yet.
Call back, Billy. Call back,
Call back, Billy.
Literally,
we'll take you, and we'll take that one last call from Billy.
But I mean, like seriously, like
this came
and that screenshot. You know, the one thing is that me being on the radio is that people will send me stuff.
Because one thing we want to see, just like with the Chinese,
and I got this from a Melissa. Not Melissa sent it to me. A Melissa. The comment was, "I will definitely never go to this business. Share if you're in the area."
There he goes.
His customers should know who they are supporting.
Right. One thing
Joe Russo is Joe Russo. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Yo,
bro.
What's up, brother Beans?
What's up, fellas?
Hey.
What's up?
What's up, man?
I mean, y'all shocked? Like, y'all surprised?
Not really.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. But you know we gotta be. You know we gotta be.
What are you supposed to be surprised at?
We're not surprised. I'm not even. Listen, we're awake, man. We just.
What are you talking about? What are you supposed to be?
I mean, listen. Right? Like, it's wrong on two different levels. Like, it's one thing if you say the Black Lives Matter is bullshit because like you're opposed against all the protests and looting and all of that stuff that's happening in the now. But I'm looking at it overall. When you say the Black Lives Matter is bullshit, that just means in general, just Black lives.
Right.
In general.
That's what I'm saying.
That just basically means all minorities will go fuck themselves.
Those people wasn't really looting or nothing. As you can see, that was all outside instigators doing all of that. I just shared a post where you had a white guy dressed in blackface out there tearing stuff up.
Hey, listen, real quick.
Go ahead, Billy.
I saw this post, and it was from a Christian. So he broke down a chapter in the Bible when he said there were 100 sheep, and he said one had wandered off. And he said Jesus went after the one sheep.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
The other 99 sheep said, "What about us? Aren't we important too?" Jesus said, "All of y'all are important, but it's the one that left is in danger. That's why I have to go after that one. So you all are important, but it's that one. It's that one that's off my radar that needs the most help." Yes, all lives do matter. But we're focused on that one that just happens to be in the most danger.
Right.
It's not black lives over white lives. It's not white lives over Spanish lives. It's not over Italian. It's not over nothing. We're focused on that in particular one. People can use this narrative. Billy. Well, blacks kill blacks all the time. They got black on black crime. All right, well, listen. You actually just explained the narrative. Not only did you look over the fact that we're getting killed by cops, but guess what? You're absolutely right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Black people do kill other black people. So aren't we dying at a double alarming rate into only 13%, only 13% of the population, over 50% of the prison population? Not only do we face getting shot unarmed by white cops, but we also have a lot of black on black crime. Yeah, that's a problem. That's an epidemic. That was an epidemic way before Corona. So now you're talking to one of the ones that's in the middle.
So you see everybody,
black people.
So
and I've had my encounter with the cops, but you're not just going to skip past the facts and go, yeah, sure, you guys are dying by the cops, but you guys kill each other all the time. You just strengthened the narrative. So that's that one sheep that's in grave danger. And that's the one that we're focused on.
Look, man.
If of course all lives matter, but if we all mattered, we wouldn't be at this moment, right? We wouldn't be in this position right now we were in.
Listen. For all of those people saying all lives matter, why are you so quiet? Why are you so quiet about the one? Because I'm quite sure if all lives matter and y'all need it. Well, if white people were disproportionate about something, we all got to rally together. If Spanish people were facing an injustice, point blank, we all got to rally together until all lives matter. Until all lives matter.
Exactly. I mean, we all...
You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't be quiet. Don't be quiet and don't sit down. Like, don't, not say nothing. Like, stand up. Like, a lot of people are, they're afraid of what their friends are going to think, their co-workers and all that.
Hold up. Before you say that, you got to tell people to get organized, because ain't no going into a dangerous area with your hands up when the police is out there in riot gear and they out there doing anything, and we got to talk about, well, I got rights once they start putting the, beating you, gassing you, and doing all that other stuff, because that's what they're going to do. That stuff got to be organized. People can't just be out there on some willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? It was too much of that with these riots. I witnessed a lot of that. Even the riots that happened in Trenton, I know my city. I don't know what the rest of them jokers talk about, and can't nobody tell me shit. Like, I know my city. I know the majority of those people out there riding was not from Trenton. And nobody can tell me that. From all the live video and all that type of stuff, I didn't recognize none of them dudes. The white dude who started first of all, who tries to open the hood of a car with a skateboard?
Nobody from the hood.
Okay.
Nobody from the hood.
Wasn't none of the why they just looted the Metro PCS in the liquor store? Nobody went to the jewelry store or the pawn shops. You know what I'm saying? That's how I know you're not from Trenton. And then they pulled over like 30 people that night, and they all had Pennsylvania tags. Some of them took their tags off. And that's what initiated the pull over in the first place. Oh, you cats is coming through here, and this is why all this other chaos is going on. You know what I mean? So people got to look at that. That was like a bait, a setup, just like in any other city. Trenton not used to that. They were just taking advantage of a situation to get some stuff. But then we have to realize, since we have the river line there, most of the people that was from Trenton moved out. We have an overwhelming number of people from everywhere else. Camden, Riverdale, you know what I mean?
I love how everyone's catching on to the people that don't belong to that in particular city that are starting, they're throwing the rocks. They're like every other city that you see, the person that started usually had on like a black hoodie with a skateboard. It's like some type of skater, and a lot of people have to distinguish the fact, how you speak. When they go with the protesters are breaking into stuff, wrong. The protesters are protesting. You got opportunists, you got looters and stuff that are, taking stuff. That's called assessing the situation. Assessing the situation is something that cops should be doing. Like, lately, cops haven't been assessing. It's called that's called assessing the situation. When you assess the situation, that's like when you have to kick a door in and you're doing a raid. Now, you're coming in with guns drawn. You have to pay attention to the little girl doing her homework, to the old lady that's cooking, to the lady that's watching TV, and you got to distinguish the real threat that's in the house or that's in the building. That's called assessing the situation. Mm-hmm. You're not assessing the situation when you go to a medical tent and you kick over the table with waters and diabetic supplies and bandages for protesters, for looters, for whoever's there, but you kick over a medical tent. What team leader went over there and led the charge to kick that table over on a medical tent? And as a team, you're a grown man. Just because your team leader went over there and kicked down a medical tent, that don't mean that you go over there and do it too. I was looking at cops pull out knives, and they were cutting water bottles. They were cutting the water bottles to dump the water. All of that's premeditated. All of that is like you knew what you were doing at some point. The same thing that a lot of these cops have to do. Not only do you have to assess the situation, but a lot of these cops that always go, not all cops are bad, there's good cops too. That one cop does spoil it for everyone. Because while he's sitting there with like a knee on somebody's neck and 10 of y'all are sitting around, y'all all just as bad. Y'all
That's
all
right.
just as
That's
guilty.
right.
Because at some point, one of y'all should have stepped in and been like, you know what, man? He's neutralized. He's subdued. Assess the situation. Look around. That's all you have to do.
Don't nobody want to be the standout guy. I just sit there.
People's lives are in your hand. Like as a like two positions that you are not required to have an attitude. You're not allowed to have a bad day at work, and that's a cop and that's a preacher. A preacher shouldn't come in with no attitude or cursing and throwing stuff around because you go there to hear some type of worship to restore your to make you feel better than what you were before you walked into that store.
Did I send you the video with the confession of a cop?
We hold them with a high regard, so they have to carry themselves with a certain code of conduct. Once you put on that badge and once you put on that uniform, you are to be expected to carry a certain code of conduct.
Hold on, Billy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, did I send you the thing earlier, the confession of a ex-cop?
No, you didn't send it.
I'm look at your messenger. If I don't know, I'll get it.
Message from about the Stone terrorist thing. Like I did get that.
Oh well, all right. Well, I just posted that. I'll talk about something in your messenger. I probably hit you off with I'll hit you later. But that's talking about how from the time they hit the academy, they are tested. Like they'll see if you're gonna rat. Like they have officers or cadets in there purposely being assholes to see if you're gonna tell on them. So they make up this sheet so you can write down who's doing what, and then your head officer, who's ever trained in the class, comes out and outs you in front of everybody. So that's to deter you from once you get it in your force, you got your gun and badge, to whatever your partner's doing, whatever, you keep your mouth shut. So that's what make them all bad, because of that fact right there. And he did specifically say it don't matter if it was your aunt, your cousin, your mom, your pop, or whoever, your sister, your brother. If they own the force, then they're abiding by that, because if they say something, then they're not going to be there or something's going to happen to them. So there's definitely something got to be done about that.
The reason for that,
make it quick,
those
Billy.
Placards that are inside their cars, you might see them. They got
Billy,
PBA.
30 seconds.
That's Police Benevolent Association, right? A lot of these people with those placards or with those cards, a lot of those are just regular citizens. They don't even have to be cops themselves. But a lot of them get out of speeding tickets. A lot of them get out of court because what it is that the police organization is a fraternal order. It's a fraternal order, meaning that these guys are pretty much a frat. And like they take pledges, they say oaths, kind of like a seance. Who know how many type of haze rituals, whatever, that they got to go through, just like the army. But that's what I see. And that's why when it comes down to it, they have a band of brotherhood and sisterhood. Now, a lot of them come from their own jacked up backgrounds, because some of these cops are gang members themselves. Literally, they all have histories. They just happen to avoid a severe criminal history. You got cops with backgrounds. You got cops that got DUI. They get DUIs. You know, they get drunk. They're they're regular people like anybody else, but they pretty much choose their brothers and sisters, and they have they have their own code of silence. The same way they tell us, snitch and tell on the next person. That's because
we're gonna have to cut it down, Billy. We're gonna have to save that energy for next week.
Yeah, brother, we're gonna have to. You gotta have to come on here, brother. You're gonna have to come on here next week.
Yeah, it's that time thing, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I was going to a whole other place, but again,
I know you were. Yo, he was about to lift off.
Yeah, I know.
I'm about to lift off, brother.
But that's deep. That goes into deeper than that badge and that uniform. That fraternal order of police. Gentlemen. They have a brotherhood and they have a code of silence. And at some point, the regular civilian doesn't matter, and it to a point doesn't even matter. What we need to do is we need to do a show with a cop from Hamilton, a cop from Robbinsville, one from Bordentown.
It's gonna be hard, bro.
Trenton,
That's gonna be hard.
Actually interview
we can get one. We can probably get one. We'll probably get one. What's your shout outs, Billy? No shout outs?
Man, shout out to Ralph, shout out to whole Hamilton Radio. Shout out to my mom that had tuned in. I see that my mom.
I know, shout out to mom that tuned in.
Hey, listen, man, yo, much love to y'all brothers, man, and Ralph, thanks for holding me down, man.
Always, brother. Always. Shout out to Hamilton Radio. Shout out to all the producers, Monk, Ruben, Gino. Shout out to all the shows. His name is George Floyd. I just had to say it. George Floyd is his name. And we out. Peace.